those of you patiently waiting, would like to call to order the City of Elgin Planning and Zoning Commission. The microphone is working. May 1st session. Look to staff, please call the roll.
Commissioner Jones?
Present.
Commissioner Lopez?
Here.
Commissioner Migala? Here. Commissioner Valdez?
Here.
Commissioner Wildermuth?
Here.
And Chairman Cox.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes from our last session, which is the April 3rd, 2023 session. Is there any comment? If not, look forward to a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
I'll move to approve the meeting minutes.
Second.
Staff, please call the roll.
Commissioner Wildermuth?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Abstain.
Commissioner Migala?
Yes.
Commissioner Valdez?
Yes.
And Chairman Cox.
Yes.
The minutes are approved 5-0 with 1 abstention.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the chairman's opening statement. For those of you watching at home, may or may not see there's only a couple people with us here tonight, the petitioners, but just to make sure that you're familiar with our your proceedings here tonight, we just wanted to go through these with you briefly. The commission's role is to hear your petition and to typically we provide recommendations to city council, but tonight, since this is a variation request, the commission will be the deciding body for this. So just so you know, as far as how we're going to proceed tonight for your petition, we always look to city staff to open the petition, go through the staff report. Hopefully you've been able to see that. Then staff will give us their thoughts. We as a commission will ask staff questions if we have any. Then after that, we invite you to come on up to the lectern and tell us your thoughts. Again, we as a commission will ask you questions if we have any. Currently, like I said, I see just the two of you here in the council chambers, but we will open the petition up to public comment. If no one comes, we can close the public hearing portion of the petition, and we look back to staff for final comments. And as a commission, then we deliberate, and we'll take a vote. And again, as I said, we'll be the deciding body for this since this is a variation. If you've got things that you want to bring out to light for the record, please definitely let us know any thoughts that you might have tonight. And I'll say one more thing is definitely don't be nervous. We're all people, so definitely like to hear everything that you want to tell us. So at this point in time, we'll move forward with the agenda. If you could, please stand. Take the oath from the court reporter. Both of you can. You can stay there. Just go ahead and take the oath.
Just raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We'll hold up. We'll look to staff to start the presentation. So if you want to take a seat for a second. Wherever you're comfortable. You can. All right, thank you for going through that with us. All right, Mr. Litvinenko, we'll turn it over to you.
Okay. For the record, we have a proof of proper notice for this first petition before you tonight.
Thank you.
The application by Salvador Ochoa is applicant and property owner who is requesting variations from section 19.25.135 site design pursuant to section 19.12.800 authorized site design variations to allow the following under number 1, 2 detached accessory buildings which exceed the maximum permitted accessory building coverage, and 2, a driveway which exceeds the maximum permitted vehicle use area at the property commonly known as 1185 to 1187 Bodie Road. As usual, we'll start with the aerial map showing the site location. The 1.3 acre property outlined in yellow is located, as you can see, on the east side of the city, on the south side of Bodie Road, approximately 600 feet west of Poplar Creek Drive. Property is zoned SFR1, that's Single Family Residence District, as are properties to the east and west. The one to the east is a single family home. The property to the west is a duplex with a detached garage in the back. To the north are single-family homes that are zoned RC1, Residence Conservation District, and those are part of the Parkwood Unit 5 subdivision. And then to the south, just off the screen, is a vacant lot that's zoned MFR, Multiple Family Residence District. This is a bird's eye view of the subject property, looking south from Bodie Road. As you can see, the property is improved with a one-story, two-unit dwelling. That's a duplex, and it also includes 2 detached buildings in the back of the duplex. A little bit of history on the property because it's relevant to this case. The property was annexed in 1969, and then shortly thereafter, the existing duplex was constructed in 1970. Since that time, the property also had 2 detached garages, one for each of the units in the building. That duplex was constructed as a conforming structure as the property was zoned R3, two-family residence district, which allowed for 2-family buildings at that time. Then in 2002, the property owner at that time received a building permit to demolish both the detached garages that were on the property at that time and then construct a larger garage in the back. That was the east garage. This is a little bit, this is the existing site plan. So the larger of the garages, the east garage in the back of the home. So received a building permit to demo the 2 garages and construct the one larger one. However, the property owner at that time demolished the east garage and constructed the existing east garage in its place, but never demolished the western garage and never removed the portion of the driveway that led to that western garage. So then the current owner purchased the property in 2017, and at that time was not made aware of the open building permit from 2002. Then in 2020, approximately that time, the current owner received a notice of violation about the condition of the existing driveway. And then subsequently thereafter, the owners came into the city to obtain a building permit to improve the driveway. That permit was denied because the existing 2002 building permit was still outstanding, and that permit called for a portion of that driveway to be removed. So following that, the current owner has decided to apply for a variance to keep the 2 detached garages in the back and the entire existing driveway. However, that driveway would be paved from gravel to concrete. This site plan indicates the existing conditions on the property. Let's see if I can. So this slight shade is the gravel portion of the existing driveway, and then this portion in the front of the building, the U-shaped portion, is currently asphalt. This is the new garage that was constructed in place of the former east garage, and then this is the existing western garage that was supposed to be demolished. The portion of the driveway that was supposed to be removed with that garage is generally this area that leads to the western garage. So the applicant is now requesting the 2 variations to keep the 2 detached garages. The 2 garages exceed the maximum permitted accessory building coverage, and then with the entire driveway that exceeds the maximum permitted vehicle use area on the property. The applicant is proposing to make slight improvements to the existing conditions. In addition to the gravel portion of the driveway being replaced with concrete, the applicant has agreed to reduce the overall vehicle use area. As you can see, this front portion of the U would be removed, and then the paved portion of the driveway will be relocated slightly so that it meets the 3-foot setback from the interior lot line on the west, and similarly 3-foot setback from the east lot line. So the 2 requested variations are summarized in the table here. The permitted building coverage for the accessory buildings is 1,297 square feet, and that's based on the lot size. And then what the 2 existing garages end up being 2,086 square feet in floor area. And then the vehicle use area, or the driveway, the maximum permitted for a property in the SFR1 district is 1,800 square feet. The proposal is 5,513 square feet for the total driveway area. The application is required to meet the standards for variations. We have outlined our review of the standards in the packet, and staff does believe that all applicable standards are satisfied. And therefore, staff recommends approval subject to the conditions outlined in the packet. The one condition I'll note is that staff is recommending including a condition that if the two existing garages are demolished or damaged beyond repair, and if any new accessory building or buildings are proposed to be constructed in those, to replace those, the property shall at that time meet the maximum permitted accessory coverage for the zoning, per the zoning ordinance. So that would be one condition that we're suggesting. With that, staff recommends approval, subject to those conditions.
All right, thank you. I'll start on my right. Commissioner Wildemuth, any questions for staff?
So because it was an outstanding permit, is there any, is there any responsibility on the previous tenant?
Previous
The
property
previous
owner?
property owner, yeah.
That's more of a legal question that I don't know that I can answer that,
Okay.
but with the exchange of ownership, it would be, the city can only go after the property owner, and then it would have to be between the two property owners, you know, what was disclosed and what was not at that time, so,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Commissioner Lopez?
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Valdez?
So you were saying if the two garages get demolished beyond repair, they are allowed to build two new garages or just one?
They can have 5 garages if they want to, but it's the maximum permitted coverage that they cannot exceed, and that, for this property,
Okay.
is 1,297. So as long as the garages do not exceed 1,297, they can build 2, 3, however many garages they want.
Commissioner Magala?
So the petitioner, Demir, is proposing to kind of eliminate that bottom of the U shape in front of the house, correct?
That's correct.
All right. You know what percentage in terms of area the driveway is from Bodie Road to the front of the house? 'Cause it seems to be because, you know, the site characteristics, you know, almost requires that they have this extra vehicle use area because just to even get to the house, you know what I'm saying? So about how far is that? It looks to be about maybe half the vehicle usage area almost.
Yeah, that's a rough estimate. On the 2 site plans that they submitted, you will see that there is the asphalt drive is approximately almost 3,000 square feet, so 2,913. And then the gravel drive that is sort of on the sides and in the back is 3,687 square feet.
Okay. Nothing further.
Commissioner Jones?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, Demir. So it's been like this for 21 years since they got the permit to put in the new garage?
It's unclear when the
property
garage
is-
was constructed. It could have been done shortly after the permit was issued. It could have been 10 years later. So it's unclear when it was constructed.
But it was approved and okay
It was-
based on that permit since 2002? Right.
The permit was issued for the previous property owner to demolish both previous garages and only to construct one. The previous owner proceeded to demolish the old east garage and replace it with the larger one, but then they did not remove the western smaller garage that still exists.
Okay. And then the petitioners here tonight, because they came in good faith to get a permit for a driveway?
That's
Is that what
correct.
started
They-
the process?
Correct. They received a notice of violation for the condition of the driveway, as I believe as part of a routine rental inspection, because the duplex is used as a rental. And so the property owner came in to obtain a permit to make the improvements to that driveway, and then that permit was denied because the previous permit was never finalized.
And what would be the typical process of the city for following up to make sure those permits are completed and closed?
So, normally, it is on the property owner to call for the inspections as work is completed. If the property owner does not call for inspections, it depends. Sometimes inspectors, if they're in the area, they will check up on certain progress, and, they would check with the particular contractor or the property owner on the status of the project. Other times, if there's nothing going on in the area and they haven't been in the area in a while, the city simply relies on the property owner or the applicant to call back and call for the inspection so that the city can finalize and inspect the routine work. And then later, if there is ever a transfer of the property during that search or that process when a new transfer stamp is issued, the new owner is normally notified if there's any outstanding open permits. In this case, for whatever reason, that was not done, so this owner never received any notification that there are any outstanding building permits. So there's a partial responsibility on the city that we did not make the owner made aware of that.
Okay, and then just to clarify on the square footage, so he's petitioning to have the approval to have these be permitted use, both structures back there, but if, say, there's a fire in one or the other and it burns down, he can't.
That's a
the petition
suggestion.
that
That's a
he's-
suggestion that staff is including, and here certainly the commission can eliminate that condition, and then they would be allowed to follow the normal non-conforming rules, which usually state that you can rebuild what was there before in the same exact condition, the same footprint.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, my questions are sort of technical as well. If this garage was to be built on a single-family property like this, again, and when I say this garage, I mean the larger of the two, it seems like it's taller, and I know that there's some height restrictions for accessory buildings. Where do we fall within the assessment of this building to the current ordinances and whatever for this overlay?
I don't have that information in front of me. I suspect that it complies with the code height-wise, as long as I believe it doesn't exceed the height of the existing building, that it should be okay. And so the permit was issued for that specific east garage that was constructed, so I suspect that it's code compliant.
Okay, and I understand we're asking you questions that have a historical nature and putting you on the spot for that. And then do you know, under the other permit, when the other garage was to be demolished, there was no additional enclosed parking structure planned, correct? Both were supposed to be torn down, just this one was supposed to be built.
Yep.
So at that time, was this residence still designed to be a duplex, or was it going to be deconverted to a single family?
No, that we don't have any information on that. We would assume that it was going to remain as a duplex and not converted, because we did not receive any plans for any kind of deconversion or interior remodel of the home.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand the hardship aspect of it. If maybe having, torn down both garages and putting this up would have sufficed for both residents to be able to park their cars with shared garage door openers or whatever else. So I'm trying to parse.
It is
parse
larger, it is significantly larger. Obviously, it kind of replaces two garages in terms of the footprint and square footage. So it's, I guess, reasonable to assume that the two tenants would have shared that same garage.
Yeah, because it looks like you could have parked 6 cars in this structure, whereas the other one would have been, 2.
It was a two-car, yeah.
Right. Okay. Those are my only questions, and appreciate you coming up here. All right, now's the opportunity for you to come on up to the lectern. Do we have a translator available? All right. Sounds like no. Well, you know what? Both of you can come up and lend each other moral support. Whomever would like to speak, go ahead. All right, if you could,
My English is not really good, like her.
just do your best. If you can, before you start off, just give us your names, give us your address.
Okay. My name is Delfina Magana. I'm his wife.
And owner too.
And owner too. He's the one that deals with all that, and I deal with the tenants and the contracts. His name is Salvador Ochoa, and we bought the property
As is,
as is,
with the 2 garages.
with the 2
We
garages.
never got any notice about to demolish the little one.
It was a
Never,
foreclosed home?
nobody say nothing to us before we signing the contract to buy.
Or else we wouldn't
So
have
we-
bought it.
We got the letter like 4 years later with purchase.
Was it a foreclosed
Was a
asset?
foreclosed.
It was a
Assets.
So when I got that notice and then for the driveway to fix, is when we notice, we hear about when they build the big one and they're supposed to knock it down the little one, the 2-car garage. And that's why I start building, because it's a duplex. If it's a single family home, I'm okay. I can knock it down and close that side, the driveway. But there's a duplex. And they use the same driveway and the same garage, I know they're fighting sooner or later, the tenants. That's for sure. I know that. Most by the winter time. That's why I say we try to keep the two garages.
And then we told them about that, the problem with the 2 garages, that we might have to knock one down. And both tenants told me that they're just gonna move. They don't want problems. And they've been with us for a while, like,
6 years.
5-6 years. Have one other question?
Okay, well, I just want to make sure you've, told us everything that comes to mind.
¿Tú quieres qué?
No, pues arreglar bien
Look,
the
he wants to
driveway.
fix the home because
The driveway, make a new one.
we have another duplex that are the neighbors. It's, what is it,
1877?
1877,
No,
that's,
1177, 1175.
yeah,
The
that's
next duplex is ours too.
ours too. We bought it when, 4 years ago, 3 years ago?
40 years.
So we want to fix it. We want to make it
looks
look
nice.
nice.
Make a new driveway
Mhm.
and put it concrete too in the back. But I have to maybe convert it to like a single family home, not a duplex anymore. And I lose a rent income too.
And then we have to subir la renta and
No, because the loan rental is
no one's going to want to rent
No,
it
the
for
whole
us.
house?
The whole
a
house.
bit too big for one family.
Mm-hmm. Then we'll be having a lot of problems and a lot of, because the people that we rent to, they're hardworking immigrants. And they always tell us, we like going with you guys because you guys never raise the rent on us. And we're good. We have a couple homes here in Elgin and they always call us if we have something available. They're like, because you guys get things done, you guys fix right away. We live 25 miles from here, 25 miles. We'll come, if we can't come, if we're out of town, his brothers help us. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll start on my left here to see if Commissioner Jones has any questions for you.
Okay.
Yeah, no questions. That's what I was kind of getting at, that it looks to me, and I live kind of in the area, it's been like this for a long time, and it looks like you guys are trying to do what you're supposed to do and got caught up in the loop of what didn't get done a while ago. So thanks for doing all this for the proposal today.
Commissioner Magala,
No questions.
Commissioner Valdez,
No questions.
Commissioner Lopez,
No questions.
Commissioner Wildermuth.
No questions.
All right, I don't have any questions for you either.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, look back to staff. Any final comments, anything that's come up from our discussion that you'd like to illuminate? Love to hear from you.
Nothing else. Based on our findings of fact, staff recommends approval, subject to those conditions. That's it.
All right, thank you. So at this point in time, the chair will entertain, you know what, I actually just realized, I skipped, although probably not going to get moot, not going to get too much comment, do need to open this petition up to public comment. All right, one person who joined us gave a definite no head shake, so we'll close the public hearing portion of this petition. We've already talked to staff. So then at this point in the time, the chair will entertain a motion for this petition, which is 61 16-21. And please, as you make your motion, note whether you'd like the staff's additional condition to be adopted.
I would move to recommend that the city council approve petition 61-21. But Demir, how would I go about removing that recommendation, making that?
Just state exactly that, remove condition 2.
I would like condition 2 removed, with that amendment outlined in the staff report, and to adopt as the findings of the commission the documents and conditions provided.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Staff, please call the roll.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Valdez?
Yes.
Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Migala?
No, I would like to see the commission, or the conditions stay in.
Commissioner Wildermuth?
Yes.
And Chairman Cox?
No, I'd like to see the other smaller garage removed. I don't want to put any undue burden on this particular property owner, but I think we need to right the wrongs and address the permits that have been issued in the way that the city has originally agreed for them to be.
Thank you. The motion is approved. 4 votes in favor and 2 against.
Thank you. All right, so the variation's been approved. So work with staff, please, to find out what the next steps are as far as permitting and next paperwork. All right, next item on the agenda is other business. Anyone in the commission have any items to discuss that are commission-related business items? Hearing none. Public comment. Anyone in the audience who wants to talk about anything that happened tonight except what was related to petitions? Now's your opportunity. All right, moving on. Look back to staff for the summary of pending development applications.
I will make a note that the city council at the last council meeting on April 26th approved that first cannabis dispensary at 353 South Randall, just next to Duncan. Let's see. The city council also approved the changes to the Bella Casa Square development. That's over at 800 or 880 to 900 Summit Street. Next council meeting or planning and zoning meeting is on May 1st. Excuse me, that's today. It's on June 3rd. And I do know that we will have at least 2 or 3 items on that agenda.
I think you mean June 5th?
Is that the Monday? I thought it was 3rd. If that's what
We're dedicated volunteers, but I think the 3rd is a Saturday.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll make it for Sunday. Make it for Sunday.
7 a.m.?
That's right.
Yes, but Demir will bring donuts.
That's right. So, yes, it is June 5th. I appreciate it. For some reason, I thought it was on the 3rd.
No worries, we're all in it together.
Yeah. So, unless there's any other questions about any of the other items, that's all I had on these.
Any questions for Demir?
Thank you.
All right, if not, last item on agenda is adjournment. Is there a motion and a second?
I move to
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
I will second it.
We are an eager bunch. Demir, you have that? Please call the roll.
I do. I do. Commissioner Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Valdez?
Yes.
Commissioner Jones?
Yes.
Commissioner Migala?
Yes.
Commissioner Wildermuth?
Yes.
And Chairman Cox.
Yes.
Motion is approved, 6-0.
Thank you, and good night.